Hello everyone, episode 6. Hope you're having a great day today. Again, this is Pent. Today we're going to look at working with creating an assembly table, some lasers, and later on the episode we're going to construct an industrial grinder. So we're going to get into that. Yesterday morning I had a little accident. It was early in the morning. I wasn't quite awake. I had created one of these industrial centrifuges and I proceeded to hook it up incorrectly. So I'm going to play the video on that, let you see that. That it ended up forcing me to do several hours of work and totally redoing this area here, moving my recycling station and quite a bit. So I went ahead and did some rewiring, and yeah, but I'll cover that in the video to come up here, and we'll show you all of what happened. Just thought I would show you what happens when you're not awake in the morning and you start working with power. This is gonna start off a project for today, and I think I'm gonna redo some piping since I've got to rebuild it anyway. So yeah, you don't hook up machines to high power when they're not supposed to be. So anyway, I'll be back. Okay, so we got that mess all cleaned up. Got this hooked up, went ahead and redid some things here. I did have a recycling station set up here. I don't need any more cobble or gravel, so when I'm quarrying, which I am right now, I went ahead and set this all up down here. For now, we're just doing scrap boxes until I get the matter fabricator set up, and then we can do that. But that's way further down for me. So I decided to try out one of these automatic recyclers. Very slow. I don't know what the benefit of having this is. If you guys know, please leave a comment, because to me this thing is a lot faster. Just a standard recycler with some overclockers. I could not find out where to put an overclocker in this thing, and I tried everywhere, and this is the output. I don't know what, I tried putting it in here, nothing changed. Don't know much more about that. So, but in order to move my system down here, I didn't want to run EUs from that corner. That's where my power station is. So I went ahead and set up running off my biofuel here, these 3 generators. But I don't think these are hardly using anything. This seems to be very efficient. This thing doesn't even move. I even threw an MFE in here. It doesn't use hardly anything, but it's doing its thing down here. Just got a chest, auto crafting table. That's working really good. So set that up down there. Okay, I think we've got everything set up here. I've got the area all carved out. Ran some red stone conduit up here. Got this set up. We're going to put 9 of those lasers up here. And we'll put our assembly table right there. I think I ended up going 9 by 9 on that. I've got our crafting recipes all set up here, so let's go ahead and walk through those. We do need a diamond gear for this assembly table, so you take a stone gear and we'll wrap that in iron. We'll wrap the iron gear in gold, and we'll put some diamonds around that. So we'll get our diamond gear, and then here's our project table. This gets expensive here. We've got the diamond gear, so it's 5 diamonds for our assembly table, so we'll grab that. And like I said, I want to do 9 of those lasers. So this is the costly part here. This 18 diamonds for that, redstone, obsidian in these 2 places here. So we'll grab those. And then I do believe to get our initial recipe we need some of this. Might be wrong, but we'll check that out. Let's grab this as well. So let's start setting this up here. Grab our assembly table. We'll shift click it right there, right on top. That looks good. Still open the chest, that's a good thing. And we'll go ahead and pop our lasers up here. Just like that. I get in there. Alright. So there's that. So let's go ahead, and I think for our first recipe we need redstone. That'll let us do redstone chipsets, and then if we put some rose red in, well, maybe we gotta have this before we can do wires. We'll check that. We'll go ahead and select this. We'll see that this immediately starts working here. And then when these get done, they should get output right to the chest below. Looks like one's getting ready to finish here. Okay. There's our redstone. Let's put that back in the table. And then it lets us do gates. So let me do a, well, let's see here. Let's see if it tells us down here. If we can do the red wire. No, that's not it. Red pipe wire. Okay, we need iron ingots in there as well. Yep, I have some of those too, so let's go ahead and throw some iron in there. There, now we can do pipe wire, we can do iron chipsets. Let's get rid of that so we can see. There we go. So I've got a few things, and then once we create some of these, let's go ahead and switch that to that wire, and we'll make some of that. Okay, let's take that off. Let's grab this wire out of there. Let's grab these out of there as well. Let's put the wire, go away. Let's put this here and this here. Okay, so now we can make these. We want to make some of these because then we can make our iron and or gates, I believe. So we're going to select that. This will take a little while to make those. So I'm going to build some of these up, get a collection of these things, and then we're going to come back and we'll make a couple of gates and look at those and how they function. So be back in a bit. Back again. A couple of quick things before I get into the demo that I wanted to tell you. I kind of forgot when I was putting this assembly table together. One thing is you do have to have these lasers within 4 blocks of this table for it to work. That's per the wiki, so I just thought I'd let you know about that too. Also, each of these lasers pulls 4 MJ a tick, which is quite a lot. Since I've got 9 lasers here, that's 36 MJ a tick that it's going to want to pull. As the lasers are working, they have different colors, and as if they're red, they're at their weakest. Then it goes up to yellow, green, and blue is when they're working at their optimum speed. So what I've done here is I've got 4 magmatic engines, but I've got a lot of line here, and that's not enough MJs to run these. If I go ahead and select something in here, you'll notice that they're red, yellow, green, blue, but they're not going to stay blue for long. Once they pull the remaining power out of the system, they are going to drop to red, and then they'll slow down and they won't work as efficient here. But there's something that I've done that helps out here. As you've seen in a previous video, we made these redstone energy cells. So what I do is I go over here and I throw one of these on here, and then if you'll notice here, I've got it set so it's feeding into the system. If I open this up, I've got it outputting at 40 MJ a tick. So doing that keeps these lasers working at their optimum speed, and also you can see here the fairly heavy drain it has on this cell. It's pulling energy at a fairly rapid pace to do that. But that way I can keep these blue and I can keep these working at its most optimum. This is actually what happens when the lasers are underpowered. They actually shut off and turn on, and they're red at the same time. So as you can see, without having some type of other energy source to power them, that's what happens. So again, we'll throw this up here, and you can see that they're immediately picking up speed and they're back to blue. So using an energy cell is a good way to go, in my opinion. Okay, I've got a little demo set up here, and I'm not going to go into great detail with this because there are several in-depth tutorials on the web. Plus I'm pretty much a gate noob myself, but I'll show you a little bit about gates. First of all, I've got here two iron gates, an iron AND gate and an iron OR gate, and they work a little bit differently. Basically, an AND gate, which is this guy, you can set two conditions, and both conditions have to be met before whatever happens over here. An OR gate, two conditions, but it's OR, so this condition or this condition gets met, then they do whatever they do. Now regular gates are pretty much, I just call them dumb gates, these gates here, because they can't, the only thing they can do is emit a redstone signal. If this happens, a redstone signal. Now these gates, if this happens, I can do a redstone signal, I can do a red pipe signal. So red pipe is what I want to use to make this little demonstration happen here. Basically what I've got this set to is if this inventory is empty, send a red pipe signal. On this side I've got it set that if there's a red pipe signal, emit a redstone signal. So basically this engine will get turned on if this inventory is empty. So the minute I place something in the inventory, it stops. The redstone signal is gone. So you can set this up to request items from something. So for instance, if you want something in this chest at all times, this goes away, the redstone signal comes out, and this will immediately start pulling items from this chest. But as soon as an item gets into this chest, it's going to shut off. And there it is. Those items will continue to move, but no more items will be pulled out of that chest. So I hope that gives you a little introduction to gates. Like I said, I'm not going to go into this. There are so many things you can do with gates, and these are just the basic gates. The iron gates. You go to gold gates, you can start using a blue pipe wire and running that. Then there's diamond gates, and I mean there's a lot you can do with gates. If I were to put an engine here, then all of a sudden I get choices about engines over here. If the engine's red, if the engine doesn't have enough fuel, if the engine does this, does that, send this, and there's a lot you can do. So if you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll see if I can answer. If I can't answer, I'll steer you in a direction of somebody that can answer. So okay, and now on to our grinder project. Holy cow, there was a lot of materials and items in getting involved for this. It's a lot like the industrial blast furnace in the fact that you actually have to construct a casing for that. You also have to build, let's take a look here, 3 of these diamond grinder wheels, which was quite expensive. In order to build those, you need diamond dust in the 4 corners. steel ingots and a diamond. We'll give you 2 of those, and you need 3 for this recipe that I've chosen. You have to wait quite a while for this recipe to come up in the here when you pull this up. A lot of them is showing this wolframium grinder, which I cannot make because I don't have tungsten ingots. And if you sit here and watch these cycle, it's quite a while before you'll see 3 of these diamond grinders come up. But I was just like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this. And it finally did pop up that you can use 3 of these diamond grinders. So this is possible without iridium to build this. So let's go ahead and make this. It's got a pump, an industrial electrolyzer, advanced machine block, and since we made our assembly table, I did create 3 of these pulsating chipsets which come from ender pearls. So let's build this. And the next thing is it's a 3-layer machine. The first layer is just standard machine casing, which I left with the recipe I used up here. I did put in some iron ore gates here, refined iron, and a machine block in order to create this. I've already done 16. I left this last one so you can see the recipe I used here. So let's grab that. And I believe we have everything we need here. Oh, one more item. You do need the middle tier to be reinforced machine casing. I didn't put the recipe up because I've already showed how to make that in an earlier video. So let's go ahead and build this. And we're going to put it right next to this. So let's see. I should have enough cable. I think I can come back here a little bit. The first layer is the standard casing in a 3x3. So let's go ahead. Oops. Get rid of that guy. Now let's go ahead and we'll put it one behind here. Now power is going to attach in the middle of the block this time instead of at the bottom like we did before. So got to be careful of that. This machine does need a constant source of water. And we'll hook that up because we've got that ready to go. You also need to put water inside the machine here. So we'll do that. Okay, now when placing this machine, like I said, it's got to be on this middle layer here. So let's go ahead and pop it on there. And we get a green light that shows that it's built correctly. Here it shows the 3 tiers in the middle. So let's go ahead and run water to this next. Get that done here. There we go. So we've got water to the machine now. Oh, yep, it's full of water now. And the next thing we're going to do is hook power to it and pray to the Minecraft gods that nothing goes wrong. Okay, and I think we've got everything here we need. Let's go ahead and just test out. And one of the reasons why I wanted to make this was because redstone ore is supposed to yield quite a bit if you silk touch it, which I've got a silk touch pick and went and got a bunch of this from the Twilight, one of the hollow hills that we had conquered. Let's just pop this in there and see what happens here. Oh, yep, here we go. Looks like it's doing its thing. Yep, you get glowstone dust and 10 redstone per block. So I was getting low on redstone, obviously, after making all that stuff. So this is a very nice addition here to have in the old hub here. So very happy about this. Yeah, I've been waiting a long time to get this and was worried about the recipe to build it. So thanks again for watching, everyone. Again, if you got a question, leave a comment. Otherwise, have a good one.